Hello YouTube, welcome to RV Daydream. When it's RV time, you know that it's going to require some battery if you want to have some nighttime. That's why we have light time. LI, if you guys don't know, that's the chemical abbreviation for lithium. So yeah, we have a lithium battery in here. A lot of them on the market. Let me tell you about this one specifically. It might be the one that you want to go with. This is the one we're going to go with our new travel trailer, and hence the 230 amp hour. We'll talk about little bits and pieces of that in just a second, but first to the intro.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Lifetime reached out to me and asked me about reviewing their battery. You know, I've done quite a few battery reviews in the past. Some of them have been just outstanding. Other ones are just like, okay, I get it. It's a battery, but it didn't have anything that stood out, or some of them didn't even have some of the most basic features. So whenever I started reading into this company, I checked the reviews on Amazon. The link's going to be down in the description, by the way. Use that link. If I have any kind of discount codes or anything, it'll, kick in. You'll have a code you enter, something like that. But whenever I was checking out the reviews, I was getting a pretty high number at the time. I don't even know what it was. Yeah, 4.6, and that's with 210, and that's pretty good considering that if you look at Amazon right now and you just type in lithium battery, you're going to see there are hundreds to choose from. So the fact that we've had 210 people purchase, and out of that 4.6, that's pretty good. Again, do your own research, go through those same reviews. What I like to do is read the negative reviews and see if that pertains to me at all. Very rarely that it does. The other thing that they offer on this one that really jumped out was a 5-year warranty. As far as I know, they're advertising this as the #1 lithium ion battery on Amazon. And that's something to be said. Now, of course, I'm talking, when I said 210 reviews, that's on this model. They have a whole bunch of different ones. So this is a 12 volt, 230 amp hour. Now, a lot of you, I get it. It's confusing and you start getting worried about a lot of stuff. Let me tell you this. This has a built-in battery management system. And what that means is the batteries that comprise this case and makes this a lithium battery, they're being controlled by a battery management system, and it's abbreviated BMS. That BMS is critical to keeping everything healthy. It also is critical to making sure you get the most out of the battery. So whenever you're getting into a new RV and you have the old, tried and true interstates or whatever it is you get from Walmart that's an RV deep cycle battery, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with those. The thing is those are lead acid, or what they call flooded batteries. Those batteries, when they have that 100 amp hour, you don't get 100 amp hour for very long. It starts falling off right away. So the deal with lithium batteries in general is that they give you what they advertise, like in this case, 230 amp hours for a long time. Then it starts to fall off. You can use this battery with anything that has a battery in it right now, just a regular battery. What your concern is, I'm sure, is what kind of conditions will that battery survive in? Well, this has a low temperature setup to where it will cut its power off if the temperature is too low. And what that means is it protects itself whenever it's charging or it's going to be charged, that if it's too cold, it won't charge, because that does damage the batteries. That will kill the battery. But more importantly, it will allow you to use your regular charger that your RV came with that is currently charging your flooded lead acid battery. This one will allow it. You can literally take your battery out of your RV, put this one in, and have lithium power. When it comes time to needing this battery to be recharged, it's not going to get recharged as well with a standard charger that you have on your RV now as if you went and got a specific charger that was designed for lithium batteries. However, it will charge the battery. It'll charge it and you'll continue to use it. If you don't want to spend the money for a new charger, don't. You don't have to. So that's where everybody gets confused, and as a purist, I guess, a lot of people do reviews, they're purist. They want all the best components. They want all the best cables. They want all the best setup. And I agree. I love doing that myself. I want to make sure that I have, everything going forward, what I should, but you don't need it. You don't have to follow their prescribed manner of putting together a kit or a bunch of parts just so you can run lithium batteries. So that's one of the nice things about this one. There's going to be some other features. I'm going to read them off whenever we get to that point, but I want to open this up. This one's going to be a little bit bigger than a standard battery, as far as length, a little taller. Weight-wise, it's about 45 pounds. Here's the thing. If you was to try to get that with a flooded, 230 amp hours with a flooded battery, you're going to be pretty close to 90 pounds for two of them. You're not going to be able to get that with one of them. And if you do, it's going to be really heavy. It's about 90 pounds. Like I say, just a standard battery, just the battery that you have, if you have a single battery on your RV right now, and it's just not quite enough, go to one of these. You're not going to gain any more weight on your tongue of your trailer, and you're going to get basically twice as much power. All right, so they have a really nice Ziploc bag here. It says it's got a manual in it, product manual. This is a 200 amp BMS. 200 amps a lot. That's a really decent amount. You've got a app tutorial. There's also going to be some QR codes you can scan. Just go through this, read it. If you don't know anything about batteries, this will help you out. Oh, this is nice. There's bolts here, and a lot of people just throw the foam away and they don't ever see the bolt. So they put a little guy in here, basically saying that there are bolts. I like that. That's a nice touch. So the battery itself, yikes! This thing is it's kind of big, and it's 45 pounds. So we're looking at like a regular battery as far as weight goes. But again, you're getting twice the oomph. Yes, I'm going to tell you this right now, because I'm sure all of you are typing right away. Because a lot of people, I'm not sure what the deal is, they want to hate on lithium power. I don't know why, but everybody's typing right now saying,
well, I can't use my factory battery box.
No, you can't. You'll have to buy a different battery box. You got some rope handles here. The thing that I like whenever we had one of these in our fifth wheel was that we were able to put this in the front area, the front cargo area, and you don't have to vent this. You don't have to run those tubes to vent it out of the RV. So there's another option. If you like having, or the idea of lithium battery, and you're also concerned about theft or something like that, you can put this inside. You can put this pretty much anywhere and just run the wiring to it, and it will operate just like your battery would out on your tongue, but now it's inside the RV. But I like that we were able to put it in our cargo bay. And see how these are recessed here? I don't know if you can tell, but they do. This is where the battery connections are. And the nice thing about that is I can put, something on top of it. Let's say I just reverse this and put this on top of it, or I put this back on top of it like this, and it's protected from whatever may move around inside that cargo area. Whereas if you don't have a regular battery, those posts sticking up, you want to have some sort of battery box that it stays contained in. Of course, like I said, you got to ventilate it anyways. So there's a lot of details on the battery. It says download LEBO app. So there's going to be some sort of app. This does have what it says Bluetooth 5.0. So I'm sure you're able to review this and keep an eye on its charging condition and all that stuff. Again, just refer to the manuals and the link. I always say the same thing. Don't listen to anybody on YouTube, including me. Do your own research. It's not that hard. The world is at your fingertips. It's on your phone. Just take a look at it, and do your own, again, research and see how it pertains to you. So as far as the form on this, it's not horribly big. Let's get a ruler and check it out. When I say ruler, I mean tape measure, obviously. So the overall size on this, you're about 19.5 inches. That's with these edges that the rope handles go through. As far as the case, the bottom part of the case though, you're at about 17.5. So if you have an opening that's 17.5 and it's not very tall, and this ledge will sit down in, so that's what you're dealing with as far as the true width. Now, as far as the width front to rear, you're looking at 6 5/8. That's going to be the same up on top. It'll be a little less here, 6 1/8, because this is stepped back a little bit. And the BMS is inside here with the temp controller and all that stuff. And then as far as height, we're looking at just under 10 inches. Looks like 9 7/8, 9 3/4, right in that range. So it's not like it's unwielding. But again, instead of what I've got here, just picture the battery you have on the tongue of your trailer. It's most likely, if it's a good one, 100 amp hour. This is twice that. And it's much more usable. Again, I know that's hard to understand, but the way amp hours works as far as when you're using it on your RV, when you're using that available energy, on the flooded batteries, because of the design of the way the energy is retrieved from the battery, the stored energy, it starts losing its amp hour rating right away and just continues to slowly fall off until it's dead. And here's the thing, it doesn't like to recover very well either. You can't charge it very fast because it needs a slow process to push all of those electrons back where they need to be so they can be reused again through the flow of the wiring once it's fully charged. Well, on the lithium battery, the technology available there, it stays at a much steady amp hour for quite some time, and then it starts to fall off, and it's pretty drastic at that point. It'll drop off. The recharge rate, if you choose to go ahead and get yourself an actual lithium ion battery charger for the RV, this can take a lot of volts. So this can charge really fast. Once it's charged up, of course, you can use it over again. And the cycles that this thing can go through is, quite a few. You can get thousands of cycles doing that. So the recovery part of this, and of course the degradation part of this, is so much better than just the flooded battery. So now that you see the battery and the case, which looks really nice, I like that it's a smart battery. That's always fun. You can get the app, you can look at the stuff that the battery's doing, you can see its condition, the charge condition on it, how fast it's recharging. There's a lot of other things. I'm going to look at my notes because I cannot remember all this stuff, guys. So it's a 12 volt, 230 amp hour. It has low temperature protection. As I mentioned, it has a 200 amp battery management system. It gives you protection against dust, water, and salt spray. So if you do have this outside, if you have it on a boat, okay, you can get it, it'll handle some of that stuff. Of course, you don't want to have it purely exposed and all of that. But it does have full protection against overcharging, over discharging, overcurrent, overheating, and short circuits. Not only that, but it has the low temp protection, and it will allow you to charge this and use this even when the temperatures get a little bit lower, a little bit cooler. Like I said, I like to keep it inside the RV, but even inside you might have a cool spot. It might get low enough. This has protection. It'll shut off. It'll just turn itself off if it gets too cold. And that's to protect the battery. It's a great idea. But I have done some reviews in the past, and some of those batteries I looked at, I've realized, hey, this don't even have low temp shut off. This is kind of cool. It is applicable to a 12 volt trolling motor in different thrusts ranging from 30 to 70 pounds, and it can handle 200 amp current. That's the one thing that I guess I need to talk about a little bit more, is the current flow. Even though a battery is rated such as this, some of them can only handle maybe 100 amps going out over a period of time before they shut themselves down. And it's, you know, it's too much. It's discharging too fast. Circuitry's getting hot inside. They go ahead and say over and over again that this can handle 200 amps of a discharge over a period of time, which is really good. Again, there's so many of these batteries on the market right now. Whenever I do research on batteries, it's always the same. I go to the reviews, I look for all those safety protections, and then I see what their customer service is like and what their warranty is like. Everything about this says yes. So if you prefer something else, that's fine. I understand. But if you say yes, use the link in the description. It'll make sure that you get to this one and check it out. They may have sale prices. Sometimes they've got better prices on models that are even a little bit bigger than this. So don't be afraid to look at something that might be 280 amp hours. But in the meantime, 12.8 volts, 230 amp hour plus Li time, Li time, lithium time. Yeah, it's time. It's definitely time. So I hope this helped you out, guys. And as always, we hope to see you out there. Bye.